Okay, guys, welcome to the Chosen One podcast show. If you landed on this podcast episode, you are probably a manifesting generator and a female entrepreneur, coach, or expert. So, welcome, take a cup of tea, and binge listen to all the amazing episodes I have set up for you. Episodes to help you create the right energy and mindset to create the manifesting generator business and life of your dreams. Here we go. Okay, Queens, I was not planning on recording an episode today because it's Friday, and usually after Thursday I go into my own bubble and I just sort of reload, and I don't know. I don't have anything planned after Thursdays, but I'm driving in the car. I'm listening to a workshop which my one line really loves. It's about predictable sales, and it's about marketing, and it's around how to create offers and stuff. And I'm a one line in human design, and I just have a big passion for marketing. Literally, if I don't have anything to do, I just love diving deeper into these things. Somehow I'm just I have been obsessed with that topic for 7 years, and it's just something that keeps fascinating me, right? It keeps fascinating me, and I just love listening to stuff about it. A lot of the times, it's so funny because a lot of the times the things they share don't really resonate with me, but then at the same time, it's sort of it feeds a fulfillment of mine, and it gives me ideas. It gives me ideas to sort of create a system that is out of the box. I don't know. I just love it. Let's keep it at that. Anyways, it gave me the inspiration because I'm listening to this person. I'm not even really taking in the words. I'm just basically on an energetic level, tuning into what she's saying. And I hear this voice say, you have to help people believe. That is your superpower. And all of a sudden, I get this vision of one of my earlier clients. Her name is Arenzina. She was not a manifesting generator. She was a generator. But she was when she started working with me, I remember it was around the same time. I think it was August. And then it was 2 years. No, it was the year before, a couple of months before I got pregnant. So I got pregnant in 2020, I guess, because 21 she was born. So 2020 I got pregnant in January 2020. So this was 2020, August 2020. Okay, August 2020, I get this message in my Instagram account saying, hey Sophie, I am currently contemplating either hiring a agency to really take over my marketing, because it's not something that I like, it's not something that I love. So I either want to hire a marketing agency to do the marketing for me, or I want to work with you. So can we have a chat to explore what's possible? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Let's plan a call. This was somebody who had previously, 2 years before 2020, contacted me because she wanted to enroll in my 14K mastermind at that time. And she had already sort of planned to start doing that, but then somehow she just felt like she couldn't continue with that decision. She just basically wasn't ready yet. So at the end, she decided not to sign up for that portal. And then 2 years later, she came into my account. Okay, very interestingly, I had to pause the recording for a second because something happened in my system. Something happened when I said that. She withdrew from the first portal and then waited 2 years to get into a next level portal. Something happened very interestingly. So I just had to pause for a second and investigate okay, what's going on here? Why did that trigger me? And what are my guides trying to tell me here? But I figured it out, took a deep breath, understand what's going on, and we'll continue with the story. Okay, so 2 years later, she sends me this message and she's like, okay, This is like the decision I feel, like either the marketing agency or you. So we planned the call, and I basically tell her what I can offer her. So at that time, I was already working in 3 months portals, because I already knew that as manifesting generators, even though I didn't know I was a manifesting generator, I did know my energy type very well. And I knew like really long portals don't work well for me. It doesn't mean that I don't work longer than 3 months with somebody, but I always love having like 3 month portals max, so that after 3 months we can evaluate and see if it's a good fit for both of us to continue. Especially as manifesting generators, and this goes for generators as well, but especially for manifesting generators, we have the tendency to move so fast that longer commitments can really suffocate us. So that's why I don't do longer commitments, even though sometimes it turns out that I work with for 6 or 9 or 12 months with somebody. I just love having the option of being able to say after 3 months, okay, love you guys, but I'm moving on, right? So if you're hear something strange in my voice, is because I have my braces in. I have one last final week to wear them, so I'm being a good student. Like, I have invisible bracelets, so I can take them in and out. And a lot of the times, like lately, I haven't been wearing them a lot during the day, and I'm like, okay, these are the last days. I'm gonna commit and put my braces in, even though it influences my speech a little bit. But anyhow, 3 months is what I offered her, and I told her we'll work together for 3 months. We're gonna focus on one specific thing that you want to focus on and make that a success. That's basically still my secret method, right? Whenever people work with me, either if you sign up for my Dream Academy or my one-on-one VIP version of the Dream Academy, both situations you work on your specific goal, and and we'll make that a success. That's basically what we do. I do have to say the one-on-one VIP edition is like really, really limited. I do not offer that to everybody, and it's like a very, very high price, because I prefer having people in the MG Dream Academy that I have running now, because it's such a good portal. I do also know that there are always people, women in my case, that really desire to work with me one-on-one. So I still put that available, but like I said, at a very high price, because the way I coach is with so much dedication, and I'm so available, like energetically aligned to the people I work with, that's basically like the compromise I told the universe. I'm like, oh, I'm available for that stuff, but it has to be for a very high price. I'll explain a little bit. Like, what happens is I'm so energetically aligned to the clients I work with. Like, sometimes I have dreams, or I have complete downloads for like product suites that then turn out not even to be mine, right? So I had this call this week with one of the women who is in the Dream Academy, and like, it was so interesting, because earlier that week, I guess, maybe 2 weeks, I don't know, I got this download for a specific portal. It was a portal where I was gonna teach podcast magic. And I was just like sitting, and I just got this clear download where I just wrote a complete sales page for a masterclass around how to record your first podcast episode, and basically how to do that without a script, without a professional microphone, and without a studio, right? I got this complete download for a masterclass, like for the whole sales page. And the funny thing is, I was like, oh my God, I love this download, but I do not feel excited at all to host this masterclass. I mean, like, zero excitement. But it didn't make sense in my mind, right? Because I was like, how can I get such a freaking clear download for a sales page, for a product, and then at the same time feel zero excitement to actually record the masterclass. But I was like in surrender mode. I was like, I know whenever I get a download, it is for a higher purpose. So let's just see. So what I did is I sent out an email about this program, about the masterclass. And I was like, it's a freaking amazing masterclass, right? I mean, I would totally sign up for this. It was like the sales page was so spot on, and yet nobody signed up. So I was like, this is even more curious, right? I mean, it is freaking awesome. It is amazing. Nobody signs up. I know when I'm not excited about hosting something that nobody signs up, right? So I knew it wasn't about the actual masterclass. I knew that was like a freaking good idea, and that like the whole sales page and everything that made sense. That I received that for a higher purpose. Still didn't know why. I was still like, what the F, okay? So I'm like, okay, well, we'll just see, right? I mean, I know I received it for a higher purpose. Let's just see what happens. So I'm in the coaching call this Tuesday. On Tuesdays, the second Tuesday of every month, we have the one-on-one hot seats in the Dream Academy. So basically during the one-on-one hot seats, we'll dive into your specific business, to your specific goal, and we'll just basically see what needs to happen that month for you to reach that goal. And we'll do that like together, of course, with the help of my spirit guides as well. And we'll just basically come up with assignments that you have to execute that month to basically energetically get to that level, right? So in the book of Jen Sincero, Becoming a Badass at Making Money, she says something very interesting. I wrote it down yesterday. I didn't know why I wrote it down, but now I realize why I wrote it down, because I have to tell you guys about it in this specific episode. So let me see what they said. Okay, page 123. Part of working with the universal intelligence is doing everything you know how to do, but stay open to the ideas and opportunities that come out of nowhere. So basically what I help you do in the Dream Academy is I help you come up with ideas that you already know from your mind's perspective right now, and I make you basically execute that. And what then actually happens, which is very interesting, in the executing of that thing, you basically you're releasing your mind, because you're focused on a task. And when you're focused on a task, your mind can't actually worry anymore. And that's when the magic happens, right? So imagine if I would add, like, I have a great example, like my stepdad. He has this like really bad depression phases, and he gets very worried and really stuck in his mind, right? And then his doctor gave him the advice to find a hobby, which was like sort of impossible for him for a long time because he had such severe depressions. But all of a sudden he got this idea to buy a drone, right? So now he's playing with the drone, and he's actually feeling so much better, and he's receiving so much more downloads and amazing things. Like, he's feeling so much better, and life starts working for him again, right? Instead of against him. I just saw a beautiful butterfly flew by when I said that. So why is that happening? And I told him that it's because when he's playing with a drone, he really needs to be focused on that task, because it requires his attention. He really has to figure out how the drone works. So basically his mind is preoccupied with handling this drone. And in that preoccupation, if that's a word in English, you actually your mind is not able to do two things at the same time. So because it's preoccupied with that task, it cannot worry about the future or about the past. And when you stop worrying about the future, or when you stop worrying about the past, the universal intelligence gets an opening in which through it can operate, right? So that's basically why I designed the Dream Academy the way I do.
Really want to be known for.
1 second, guys.
That's when you can start.
So that's basically why I design it, so that the universal intelligence has an opening, right? So anyways, long story short, I'm in this, like, it's very interesting. I'm driving somewhere. I do not know where I'm driving, and every road ends with a roadblock. It's like, nope, you can't continue, you can't continue, you can't continue. Anyways, I'm talking to this client, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I have this crazy idea for you if you're open to hearing it. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, I know your next topic for your masterclass. It should be the topic about how to create your first podcast episode, because you are fucking an amazing example of that. This was a client who worked with in a previous portal with me, Unapologetic. And in that portal, I also gave them the assignment of starting a podcast show that week. Now you have to understand, not everybody follows up on my assignments. That's why I work with the guarantee exercise, because when I actually attach a guarantee to the assignment, it is way more likely that my clients will execute the assignment that I gave them. If there's no guarantee, my clients will always come up with BS excuses why they weren't able to do it. And that's not like because they're a bad person or they're lazy or whatever. Oh my God, I keep going into a road that is just like everything is a dead end. What is this? My goodness, 1 second. It's like I'm stuck in a maze or something. 1 second, guys. Okay, that's not because they're bad people. No, it's just because their mind, everybody's mind, is super clever in like getting you out of your to keep you doing everything that you already know that you have done before, right? It's like it doesn't want change. So this is why, like, the way I crafted out a Dream Academy is just like really based on like not giving your ego any excuses. That's basically it. Anyways, this particular client, she out of the 3 was the one who literally had a podcast show live, I think the next day or maybe 48 hours, but like super fast. She figured it out super fast. And this was a client who didn't even had a business yet, right? This was the client who was actually still in a corporate job. She doesn't have a website. She doesn't have a product. She didn't have anything at that stage. She only signed up for Unapologetic from a desire of wanting to start her own business, but she was still in a corporate job. She didn't have a website. She didn't even know what the heck she really wanted to do with her business. And still, the next day, she had launched her own podcast show. It is called the Let's Get Started podcast show. It's a French client of mine. Or she actually lives in France. She is not from France. She is from, I don't know. I forgot. I'm sorry, Claudia. I forgot where you're from originally, but like somewhere across the ocean. I don't know. It wasn't Venezuela, right? But somewhere. I don't know. Anyhow, she just made it happen. She made it happen, and without having any clarity, she had a podcast show live, and I think within a week she had like 3 or 4 episodes online, right? So I was like, if anybody can teach how to get a podcast episode live within a day without even having clarity or without even having a business, it is you. And she was like, oh my God, Sophie, I freaking love this. I freaking love it, because her mind actually had put her on a different path, right? Because we were basically using the call to figure out like what her first masterclass would be about, and she had the intention. So we work with very clear intentions with the one-on-one hot seat. So beforehand, I always make them come up with an intention, and her intention was, okay, I want to have clarity around my masterclass, and I want to have a clear sequence, an email sequence or a promotion sequence to promote the masterclass. So that was her intention. And she came in with a story about the masterclass that she wanted to do, and I just kept saying like, no, this, like, my guides are telling me, no, this is not the right thing. This is not the right thing. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I know what you have to do. Like, this is what they're showing me, the podcast. And she's like, oh my God, yes. And literally, like a couple of hours later, she puts up in Trello this amazing PDF that comes along with this masterclass. I will link the PDF in my show notes. So if you are interested in starting your own podcast show and you have no idea how to do it, make sure to download this free PDF, because there's already so much valuable information in this PDF. And then I think she's also gonna host a free masterclass with the PDF. So make sure to subscribe to it, because she is really excellent in explaining this stuff. And she's like a great example for so many people who just want to get started, right? And have no idea how to do that. So that's like, I don't even know how I got onto this topic, but that's something that happened last week, right? Oh yeah, I started off this podcast show with the fact that I got the download in the car that is saying you have to make people believe. And I truly believe that that's a big, big part of my mission. Make people believe and know and help them trust that it is the right time to work with me. Claudia was the same kind of person, right? She saw one of my offers coming by and she was like, I love that, but I'm still in a corporate job. Is this even the right timing for me to sign up for one of your business portals? I tuned into her energy and I was like, yes, definitely yes. And now she's not only done unapologetic with me, but she's also in my MG Dream Academy, really showing up as the CEO of her new business, right? So that's the clear download I got. Oh yeah, I think I started off the story with Arenzina, right? That's why I started the story. And again, the reason why I thought about her is because I remember that she was literally asking me for permission as well, right? She was like, Sophie, I either gonna hire this company or I want to work with you. Can we chat? And I basically told her in that conversation, I feel like I can help you and this is the way I can help you. The decision is always my client's decision to make. I'm not in the business of convincing anybody, but I am in the business of sharing my downloads. And when I get a clear download for somebody and it tells me, yes, this is the portal for you, it is the right timing, then I will definitely share that. And then it's of course up to you to decide what you want to do with it. That being said, if you have been contemplating the MG Dream Academy, or you have this feeling like, oh my God, I want to work with Sophie, I just don't really know in what capacity, feel free to reach out to me, because I love tuning into your energy and feel if I get a download for you. A lot of the times the downloads I receive do not make sense to the mind. So I'll sometimes get a download for somebody who doesn't even have a business yet. And the download is like, get into the MG Dream Academy. And then those people are like, but I don't have a business yet. I'm like, doesn't matter. This is the download I get for you. It's telling you that it's time to step it up. It's time now. And sometimes I have people who are already running a successful business that I feel a clear download for, that I'm not the person to help them with, right? With their question. Or sometimes I get a person who's already super successful and I get a super clear download for that person. Like, yes, this is the thing I need to do with you right now. So it's always from, like, my guides are just literally showing me like what is right and what's not right. And it's my job to honor that. And that's just the revelation I had during this cruise session I'm currently having with myself and my daughter. I figured out my way out of the maze, and now I'm on a familiar road which will lead to the goat farm, which I will take my daughter to right now to have to go out and play a little bit. It's beautiful weather still. We'll actually have a beautiful weekend ahead of us with 24-25 degrees. So I'm just gonna really enjoy this day, and I loved recording this episode. It was fun, and I hope you got value out of it. We're crossing a car, 222. Love that. I love that number. It's like the exact number I kept seeing when I was receiving my daughter's energy before we got pregnant. So it's like always, it's a very sacred number for me. Anyways, I just also sent it out an email to my email list with a download that I got out of a dream that I had last night. So what I'll do sometimes when I get dreams or when I get specific downloads, I will send out an email to my email list about it, and I will tell them, like, I get this download for one specific portal. I don't know who it's for, but I basically know it's for somebody out of my email list. If you're reading this email and you know it's you, send me a message. And so if you feel like you want to be part of my energy field, and then make sure to be subscribed to my email list, because once in a while I get specific downloads, not only for my clients, like a complete sales page for her masterclass in Claudia's case, but also like sometimes I just get downloads for random people that I don't know. And because I don't know them, I just basically send out an email like, guys, I've received this portal, don't know who it's for. If it's you, send me an email. So yeah, if that's calling you, make sure to subscribe to my email list. I will place a link in the description of this podcast show where you can subscribe. I will just put the link of one of my free webinars. Basically, if you sign up for that, you'll be on my email list as well. Okay, so before I forget it, I will send Claudia a message right now to send over her link to the PDF. And then yeah, this episode is good to be published. Have an amazing weekend, guys, and we'll talk soon.